today's video, I'm doing a makeup tutorial for you on this look right here. It is very fall appropriate. It's kind of like a soft little cut crease black wing liner action with a very fall appropriate brownish red lip. Nice glowy skin. It's very fall. It's very moving into fall. So I hope that you enjoy. If you do, then be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Of course, I will list below all of the products that I use along with all of my other social media so you can come find me and say hello. But without any further ado, if you want to see how to get this look, then just keep watching. Okay, as usual, we're starting off with one eye done and the brows done, just to save a little time. So we're going to mix together Peach Smoothie and Creme Brûlée by Makeup Geek on a big fluffy blending brush and just adding that into the crease, just buffing that out and kind of building up the color so it's like a little peachy, a little brown. And then we're going to mix together these two Morphe shadows. I have no idea what their names are, but they're just like neutral, somewhat warm browns, and we're gonna put that in the crease a little bit below the previous two shades. Just build up that color, take your time to blend all of those shades together. Then taking this little Morphe palette, I'm gonna take this like brick reddish brown color on kind of a more precise blending brush and then adding that right into the crease. Just blending that back and forth, back and forth. Take your time to just add all of the colors and then blend them together. And remember to go in with bigger brushes afterward to blend out the edges. Now I'm taking a smaller, more defined blending brush and the dark brown in this little mini palette and then adding that right in the crease. Since we're going to be cutting our crease, it's okay if you get it on the lid. Just make sure to really work on that crease and then blowing it out. Now I'm taking Bitten by Makeup Geek, which is like a maroony, purpley red shade on that same precise blending brush and then going right into that crease. This is going to add like the purpley hues to our eye look. Just go back and forth and back and forth. Take your time to blend out those shades. Now to cut the crease, I'm going to take some concealer. Tarte Shapetape is probably the best just because it's such a high, intensely pigmented concealer. And I'm taking it on this tiny little like detail concealer brush and I'm just going to slowly start to put that all over the eyelid. Take your time. Just kind of work in slow little patches and then just put that all over the crease. Not the crease, but the eyelid to cut the crease. Then to set that, I'm just going to take this kind of like bone white shade from the Morphe 350 palette, but any kind of like white shade would do. And I'm just packing that all over where we put the concealer. Then just to kind of diffuse the edges, I'm going back in with that detailed blending brush in that same Bitten shade and just slightly going over the edges. Of course, you want to match it up to the other eye to make sure that you're even. Then for the liner, I'm not going to bore you with the 20 minutes that it takes me to do my liquid liner. But you know, I just try to follow the lower lash line, go straight out, and then just swoop it back in and then fill it in. Then for mascara, I'm taking the Lash Sensational by Maybelline. Oh, by the way, the liquid liner I used was the NYC liquid liner. And this is the Revlon 2-in-1 Kajal something or other. And I just tight lined with that. Now the eyeballs are done. Ranger just always wants to jump up on my lap when I'm doing my makeup. I don't know why he does that. For primer today, I'm using the Becca, what is the back? No, it's not the backlight one. It's the purple one, whatever. It smells like Fruit Loops. It's delicious. Then I'm going to use the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation and my favorite brush. I talked about this in my favorites video. I'm just going to dot that all over my face and then buff in the foundation. This brush is really good for detail work. If you do your eyes and your brows first, this brush is perfect because it can be really precise around those edges. For concealer, I'm using the Master Conceal by Maybelline. And since it's a squeezy tube concealer, I squeeze a little bit out in the back of my hand and then use my finger to apply it under the eyes and around the face. And it's good for the finger to warm up the product and apply it to where you need it. Then I'm going to use that Eco Tools beauty blender type thing to buff out the concealer. I don't think I like this sponge. I don't know, even when you just put it underneath the faucet, it like dries really quickly, so it's not damp anymore. So I feel like it doesn't do as good of a job blending out concealer. I don't know. I'm still gonna play with it though. To set the under eyes, I'm using the NYC Smooth Skin Powder. I like to go in with my finger first just to blend out those creases and then really heavily pack the powder in with a brush and then kind of buff it out once I lay the powder down. And then to set the rest of the face, I'm using the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in Creamy Natural and this really giant Real Techniques brush. I'm just setting pretty much, I'm kind of setting everything, but really focusing that where I'm going to be laying down my bronzer and blush and highlight and everything. I don't want any skippy patches. For bronzer and contour today, I'm using this Los Cabos bronzer by the Sephora brand and this big Sonia Kashuk brush. So I'm going to first pat the product into my cheekbones and then use the big fluffy brush to blend it in and kind of buff it around and hit all those bronzy spots, the temple and forehead, even though I have bangs and it's going to be covered anyway, but still want to make it even. Then I'm going to cut out my cheekbones using some of that loose powder and the sponge. I will say that the sponge is perfect for doing like the under the cheekbone baking. It really is super precise in laying that product down. So the point of this is just to kind of clean up the contour when you're bronzing, and you can get a little crazy buffing that brush around and it can get a little sloppy. So you just lay a little translucent powder down and it helps sharpen up that line, sharpen up that contour. And for blush, I'm just going to add this mostly just to the apples of the cheeks and then slowly buff it back. I'm going to use this like Wet n Wild Fergie highlighter. I think it's in the shade Rosé Champagne. Rosé Champagne? I think that's what it's called. And this e.l.f. fan brush, and I'm just going to build up that color. This highlight is really beautiful. You just have to build it up and layer it on top of each other to get that full pigment. Of course, adding it to my nose and Cupid's bow with my finger just helps really pack the product on and kind of help blend it into the skin better than the brush. Now it's time to wipe away that bake. I'm using that same big brush by Real Techniques and just more kind of pushing it and blending it into the skin rather than just wiping it away. As you can see, it really helps clean up that contour line. It makes my cheekbones look more chiseled. Then I'm going to set my face using the Wet n Wild Photofocus spray, and then fanning my face dry with a Benihana photo. Then just lining the lips using this Palladio lip liner. And then finishing off with the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in Plath. And then once the lips are all done, then this tutorial is done. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Of course, I'll list down below all the products that I used, and that's it. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.